Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast battle report. Today, the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus will face off against the Drukhari in this head-to-head match play battle report. Let's dive in.
The Dark King.
Hello everyone, welcome. It is another battle report time. I'm getting ready to go to a GT in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. The Grinning Demon Grand Tournament, which is going to be super fun. It is this weekend, and I got the TO to send me like some pictures of the terrain. So this is kind of like one of the terrain sets that they have. And then Brett brought his Adeptus Mechanicus over. Say hi, Brett.
Hello.
And we're going to play Vital Intelligence, which is what he randomly picked. There you go. So Vital Intelligence, this is the terrain. Let's dive in to the 2,000 point armies that are going to face off as they beat each other up to a pulp. That's how this is going to work. AdMech versus Drukhari. Excellent. And here we have 2,000 points of real space raid led by Archon Skari himself. Ancient Evil, Animus Vitae, Power Sword Blast Pistol. Then we have the Succubus, which is Test of Skill and Stimulant Innovators, a custom witch cult. And last but not least, the Artist of the Flesh, Homunculus with the Poisoner's Ampule and Master Regenist. And of course, she has the Triptych Whip and +1 Strength Combat Drug. You'll see how that interacts later in the game, hopefully. Then we have the troop choices for the Real Space Raid. 1 squad of Kabalite Warriors, Cabal of Black Heart, of course. 5 Racks, 5 Witches, 5 more Racks, with 2 Venoms and a Raider ready to take them to where they need to go. In the elite slots, we have 2 units of 5 Mandrakes and 2 units of 4 Grotesques, ready to take on the brunt of the fighting in the middle of the table and soak up as much damage as possible. In fast attack, we have 2 units of 5 Hellions with random combat drugs, 5 Reva jet bikes with random combat drugs as well, rounding all of the fast attack slots up. And in the heavy support choice, 3 Talos with double heat lance, macro scalpel, Ichor injector. 2 Chronos with 1 probe and 2 vortexes. And last but not least, a Cabal of Blackheart Ravager ready to ravage the enemy. There you have it, 2,000 points of Drukhari to face off against the enemy. And here we have 2,000 points of Adeptus Mechanicus. Brett, take it away.
Hello, so I'm running a battalion and a patrol of Mars Forge World and a Veteran Cohort. The battalion is run by my Marshal and my Manipulus. Oh, this is good already. The Manipulus is bare bones. The Marshal has the Cantic Thrallnet and the pre-programmed Retreat Warlord trait.
Yep.
Allows him to put another unit into an extra Doctrina.
Yep.
The troops you see here are 2 Rangers and 1 big Vanguard squad.
Yep.
Taking advantage of the Vanguard ignoring blast. The Cerberus Raiders, 2 of the Sterilizers, and 1 of the 2 mans of the Ballistari are in that same detachment.
Yep.
Along with both of my bombers, which are equipped with the chaff launchers. And then in the elites, sorry to jump around a bit there.
It's all good.
I've got my Infiltrators with Cheva Temperacordia on the Alpha, which is the red cloaked guy. And then this is just a 10-man bare bones of Rust Stalkers to mulch.
With the phase swords or whatever.
Yes, the big blades.
The mortal wound ones.
1 damage. That craziness. And then the other patrol is run by my other Marshal, who has the Exemplar's Eternity and the Warlord trait for the Veteran Cohort, which allows one of my Veteran Cohort special strats to cost 1 less CP.
Yep.
And then another Sterilizer squad and the Ballistari.
Perfect.
Yep.
So there you have it. 2,000 points. Let's dive into the mission. Well, I hope you enjoyed the armies. So then we picked secondaries. Brett, what secondaries did you pick?
Engage, retrieve Octarius data.
Still call that, not retrieve Nocturnus data,
Not
or whatever.
yet.
Not yet.
Tripping up over myself. And the mission specific, which
Data intercept. There you go. The missions in this mission are sticky. So it's hold 2 for 5 points, hold more for an extra 5 points, hold 3 for 5 points. And then the secondaries to get a total of 95 points plus painted, 100 points for the mission. I went for retrieve Octarius data, the same, because it's still good. I went for Herd the Prey, which is a Dark Eldar one to prevent the enemy from getting into my table quarters. And I did also go for data, because any unit can start the action, which means that I can kind of use something that I'm not going to really be using and focus on getting points and getting objectives, which is a big deal for me. So without further ado, we're going to roll for attacker / defender. Defender gets to put down the first unit. And then we'll come back after deployment. Hiya! I rolled a 2. You rolled a 4. Okay. Would you like to put the first unit down or make me put the first unit down? You want me to commit first?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. You have infiltrate as well, so...
Yeah, I do. I've got some mandrakes.
Yep.
Do you want to deploy yours first?
I don't think it matters too much.
Okay. I will go first, then. We are back after deployment. So with the first infiltrator, I was able to put some mandrakes back there hiding on that objective. And then, of course, Brett put
Mirror match.
there you go, right over here. Then I decided to start deploying a whole bunch of stuff. Over here, I put Grotesques, Kronos, and Talos touching the forest with the Homunculus within 6 inches of both to give them the +1 toughness. Then behind this nice piece of obscuring terrain, I have 5 bikes, the Archon's Venom with Rax, the Succubus's Venom with Rax, the Ravager, and a Raider with Cablite Warriors, and the Witches. They're all hiding.
Maybe you could put behind a building.
It's amazing when you don't have like 6 Raiders and you've got the Venoms and you can like just tuck them in all nice. It's kind of fun. And then I waited for Brett to put down his Rangers. Not Rangers.
No, Cerberus Raiders.
There's Raiders. And then I decided to put my second unit of Mandrakes here to stop them from moving up. Because last time I did this, they moved up and essentially almost killed my Homunculus. Even though he can come back to life, I don't want to risk rolling a 1 if he gets sniped out.
Or use it turn 1.
Or have to use it on turn 1. So I much prefer losing a whole unit of Mandrakes to prevent them from sniping him than not. Okay, so with that, over here we've got Infiltrators, Rangers, the Raiders, a Bomber, Last Cannons, Rangers, Taraxi, the Stalkers over here, another Bomber, 2 more of those little guys, the big unit of Vanguard with the Manipulus, another unit of Rangers in the corner.
And the Marshal.
There's also a reroll Marshal there?
Yeah, that's the super rerolls. 1
Nice.
to wound and hit.
I like it. And then last but not least, you put 1 unit of Pederaxi in Deep Strike. I spent 1 command point to put both of my units of Helions in Outflank Reserve.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, we get to roll to see who goes first. Okay. Best of luck. Good luck, have fun.
Loud.
Oh, you're picking your dice, are you? I love it. Hiya! Ooh.
Oh,
welcome to the Denizen.
Chris, I blame you.
Hear that, Chris? It's all your fault.
It was your lab.
Well, I don't really get any choice but to go first.
Yes.
So, would you like to do any pre-game movements before we get started?
Yeah, I'll do a couple shuffles.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because the Rangers get to move, what, 6 inches or 4 inches or something?
3.
Oh, okay, small.
3,
and then Brett has to pick his Canicles, his Doctrina if he wants, that sort of thing.
Yes.
We'll be doing a recap bat rep, so we'll be back after the movement phase, and we'll explain what's been going on, because as per feedback, you folks really enjoyed the shorter bat reps, so we're doing another short one today.
Cool.
Here we go, end of the movement phase. Well, he pre-game moved them up and decided to go Shroud Psalm. No, +1 save.
Yeah, Doctrina.
Doctrina +1 save and -1...
-3 to move.
-3 to move. Okay, so they're a little slow. But they all get +1 save, which makes them good. The Mandrakes, because they are Blackheart real space raid, they are able to advance. They advance 5, so they've basically scooted up here. I'm going to try to take out this little unit here. This infiltrator unit was relatively close to these grotesques, so they've moved around, and they need a 7-inch charge to get into here. So hopefully, yes, there's a fight lost here. They have lots of attacks and stuff, but each of these grotesques has 2 damage attacks. So even if one grotesque survives, he could kill the whole squad.
Yeah.
So I'm just really hoping. I'm really hoping. That's a gamble. Let's see. This is for fun. Let's see if that happens. The Talos advanced. The Homunculus is out here in the open, giving everybody +1 toughness. The Raider and the Ravager have both moved up to see those 2 last chickens. These Mandrakes have moved around and done Retrieve Octeris data in this corner, but they've also moved to the edge of the objective, so he can't move onto the objective. He has to charge me to get himself onto the objective, which will less incentivize him to shoot them, which then might mean that they all survive, so we don't know. Or you can just shoot them and get rid of them. But then, so we'll see what happens. The Chronos just kind of moved around. The Succubus and the Archon have moved up in their respective venoms. And then this Raider has put his butt in the forest, so he's -1 to be hit. And can see the last cannon chickens over there. So with that, let's dive into the shooting phase. See what happens. Wish me luck. So there we go. My shooting, I almost killed 2 chickens. I left one with 2 wounds remaining. I did kill one. And I killed, he spent 0 CP to get 5 up Feel No Pain on them because of his bonuses to his command points and stuff, which is really cool. And I was able to kill one and put 1 wound on another with a couple of venom shots. Other than that, the rest of my army is not really in a position to do a lot of shooting. So we're going to do some charges. First, I'm going to try and see what happens here. They're going to charge into this unit of Rangers.
I think they made it.
Yeah, there you go. That's fantastic.
I'm going to go on a limb and say they made it.
Good job, little Mandrake unit. That's fantastic. And then they are going to try and make it into your infiltrators. They need a 7. This is a big money right here. And that's where you spend a command point to try and make this happen.
Totally makes sense.
Come on, Grotesque. Can you make it in? Oh, they're not going to make it in.
I kind of wanted them to make it.
Yeah, it's okay. I kind of wanted them to make it too. I wanted to see what would happen. That is a big fail there, but that's okay. With that, let's go into combat and see what these Mandrakes can do. And here we go, end of the first turn. The Mandrakes did charge in. We're able to kill 3 of the Rangers and surrounded them. They passed their morale test. But with that, I will get my first Retrieve Octeris data as we move into Adeptus Mechanicus, turn number 1. Let's see how the machine reacts to oil in the cogs. End of the movement phase.
Mission secondary.
Correct. So what we have here, the 2 bombers have flown over and killed one of my 4 Chronos with bombs.
How rude.
Because it's 6 per vehicle up to max of 10, one monster. So it was 20. They did 10 mortal wounds. They killed 1. Poor Chronos. And then this bomber slowed this unit of Grotesques down with a stratagem. Makes them like half their move, half their advance, and half their charge. Making them extremely slow.
Seismic fall.
Correct. Very, very slow. Not fun at all. This Ranger unit has done a Retrieve Octeris data while they advanced up, and essentially they got +1 ballistic skill as well. The Taser Goads are coming up to try and fight some Grotesques. And then these horse dogs got the... That's what they are. Horse puppies, or whatever they're called. He was able to get on there because he did negate the -3.
Yeah.
And he was able to get on there to pull me off that banner there. And he's essentially going to move up and try and save these Rangers to then do a rod later with them or whatever. And then they're doing the data intercept back here as well. So with that, we're moving into the shooting phase. In other very exciting news, the Manipulus healed that chicken 1 wound.
Uno mas.
Yeah, that's right. And now we're going into the shooting phase, which is the fun part. Yes. This is the fun part.
AdMech gets to do their thing.
That's right. End of the shooting phase.
Do you want to do that real quick?
Okay, so we've got both of them both of them shooting. They killed one grotesque and put one down to 1 wound. Over here,
Horrible.
no shooting he didn't. Do you want to roll the shooting? Oh no. He doesn't want to make that charge longer. He's going to potentially charge into here. Other than that, he is now using the advanced and charge strat on them, and he's essentially going to be charging in to take away that objective and force me down to 0 primaries, which is kind of how this mission goes. Other than that, this raider took 3 wounds from 1 arc rifle, and he spent a command point to make it act as half wounds. So now it's bracketed, even though it's not bracketed.
Yes.
And that's it, really. Those chickens did nothing against my Lost Kronos. They didn't wound it once, so that Kronos got off lightly. But the forest really helped against a lot of the shooting, which was my plan all along. Other than that, they did make that charge, so they're just moving into those mandrakes, and then we'll come back after the assault phase. But all in all, he's tackling my primary, which makes sense. He needs to stop me from scoring points. But this is definitely a very maneuvering game right now, as we're each trying to sort of like... Now, he's in the driver's seat because he has a last turn. So with last turn, he can get a 15 points at the end with this mission, which means that if he can drop me down to drop me down primary points, that's really strong for him. So next turn I'm going to have to make something happen to make sure I can start scoring some primary points. And with the Rust Stalkers in reserve, because he put them back in reserve, they can essentially come out at any point, and they're Mars. He can make them 3d6 charge, so there's a whole bunch of stuff he can do with them. So let's see what happens as he goes.
All my strategy.
He's like, oh, he knows exactly what's happening. Yes, I do.
Almost like he's played against this before. Yeah,
mid.
That was pretty nuts.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
That was a clutch play.
Mid combat. I wanted to bring this up because it was a big brain play on my part. It could have worked, but it was the right thought process.
Should have grabbed a shot of it before I killed the models.
Correct. So what happened? The mandrakes. He charged the mandrakes, and he wasn't able to base any of them with his movement. So then what happened is the mandrakes interrupted because he decided to fight over here first and only killed 2 mandrakes here. It was actually that's a big deal.
That was savage, yeah.
Because they rolled like a 2-inch charge because of the crater. So I interrupted here, and with my pylons and consolidates, I was able to pin all of the vanguard, so that if he killed up to 2 mandrakes, he couldn't move on and get anybody on that objective, which was a clutch interrupt. However, he rolled well, and the marshal. I
rolled average.
I did even kill 3 of them, but you rolled decent, and then you murdered them all, and then they were able to get on. But it was the thought process.
Exploding tasers.
Correct. But that doesn't mean I spent 2 CP to try and get me some primary points, but he was able to pull it down. So I am down to 0 primary. And now it is taser go time before these mandrakes get to swing as well. And back from combat. The 3 mandrakes killed that ranger unit. The taser goads went in, killed 2 grotesques and put 1 wound on another, and then the 2 grotesques killed 4 of that unit as well, which was good, with no rerolls or anything, which is awesome. And then over here, the Rangers are fine. They're fine. With that, I have 0 primary points. I get 1 secondary point for that. Ha-ha!
Huzzah!
For my really cool upgradey thing. And with that, let's dive into turn number 2. But it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. And now that they're in combat, though, that's huge because they can't fall back out of combat, which means they're going to get eaten by these dogs.
Probably, yeah. I was hoping to kill more than
100%. But, with the -1 to hit and the fact that you were only able to get 5 in combat, that was So on one side, the dice giveth, and on the other side, they taketh away. But with that, we're going to dive into Drukhari turn number 2. End of the movement phase. So I decided to commit the Reaver jet bikes. They spent a command point to fly by and did 2 mortal wounds to the unit. Now there's only 15 in the squad. The witches did advance out of the transport, and they did. And I burnt my stimulant innovators, which gave me +1 strength. So every single thing of my units has +1 strength in addition to the bonuses that they have. Now, this is the cool thing here. They have deployed entirely in my deployment zone. Each unit is within 1 inch of my table edge, which is this one, and they've just deployed. That's how it works. I have 2 units of Helions coming on, but really close to that plane. Oh, that's right. He is chaff launcher, so it's -1, which makes sense. The grotesque that we're here got into that raider that still has 5 Cavalry warriors in it. So there's 11 models in there now. Yes. This Ravager just moved up, put his butt in the forest. These racks put Retrieve Octeris data in this corner. I needed to make sure I did it at least once because the game's devolving here. The Talos have moved up to shoot heat lances into there while then potentially charging here. I did spend 1 command point to fall back and charge with these Grotesques to get them in as well. I'm going to shoot my Animus Vitae to give everybody +1 to hit in combat because all the power from pain will go up because Brett decided to use the Electromancer. So I'm going to be, -1 to hit them in combat. So that'll give me +1 to hit to offset that.
and I did use the +1 weapon skill Doctrina.
Correct. Absolutely. Okay, so let's see what happens as we move into the shooting phase. But this is definitely going to go down in a brutal form, and I love it.
CP I have left, boy.
Here we go into the charge phase. I was able to kill 1 ranger from back there. I put 1 wound with shooting on this this bomber, but I was able to kill those chickens, and I was able to kill those chickens because those heat lances went nuclear. Got 5 out of 6 hits with their shots. That was crazy. They were amazing. Other than that, that's it. I'm going to be charging the bikes, and then potentially the witches are going to charge in. And then I'm going to try and charge in, see what happens. I do have test of skills, so I'm very curious to see how that works. Yeah. End of the combat phase. This plane survived with 1 wound remaining. Oh no, but that's okay. I can't complain with the rest of my turn. The Talos and the Mandrakes killed all of the dogs, and I was able to kill him. I threw a grenade, and then he charged in. I was able to fight him, kill him, moved up. And over here, he did interrupt to try and kill some of the witches. I spent my command points to keep the witches from, with a -1 to hit, kept the witches alive. I lost 1 witch, thankfully, against the taser goad. And then the bikes also lost 1 bike. I killed 5 more in combat of the Vanguard. They failed their morale, and then they lost an additional to attrition. So there are now 8 Vanguard left. There are 4 Rangers there. We still have all 10 of the Rust Stalkers ready to come in and do some damage.
And 5 sterilizers.
And then 5 more sterilizers. So this game is far from over as we move on to AdMech turn number 2. It feels like there's been so much that's happened so far. So much carnage. I absolutely love it. Take a look at the table. But this has been a bloodbath. Okay, so with that, let's dive into turn number 2. Note that. In the middle of the AdMech movement phase, this bomber did 4 wounds to that venom. These Pederaxi have moved up to essentially start putting some hurt and do some flaming over here. The Marshal has done data intercept, while the Rangers have done retrieve Octeris data in that corner. But the biggest thing, this bomber, 1 wound left, moved back, going to get healed by the Manipulus.
He's going to bomb that.
He's going to bomb this. The witches... The witches... we're able to no escape the Vanguard, which is big. That's a big deal. Huge. That's huge. Okay, and he did heal that for 3, so it's back up to 4. Yep. Half wounds back. Oh my goodness. All the work that the Hellions did for nothing.
Yep.
The shooting phase has come and gone. The Pederaxi have come down and just murdered a whole squad of Hellions. That's what they did. The witches holding that unit of Vanguard in combat is massively huge. Over here we have the Rust Stalkers basically come out. Instead of trying to string and do the same thing I did, because then few of them would get to attack, he needs to commit. You put them all within just outside of 9 of this Talos. And then these Pederaxi have advanced and moved up as well. Other than that, shooting, that Venom died, and 1 rack died in the explosion. And this... he tried to kill the Homunculus to lower the toughness so that the Flamers could do some damage or some extra stuff. But he only did 1 wound over here. Yep. Other than that, diving into the assault phase. Let's see what they can do. Okay. Big money here. He spent the 1 CP to advance and charge with them to get them out of the way, and then rolled an 11 on the Rust Stalkers, but he's got 0 CP. So it's unbuffed Rust Stalkers. Well, they still have the +1 to hit because of the Canticles and stuff, or the Doctrinas. So he's got all of this into the Talos, essentially. And then these also rolled an 11 to get into the Witches. So they are... The Witches, I don't think they'll survive that. That's a lot of attacks. So I'm looking at losing both of those objectives and maybe even the whole unit of Talos. Wow, this is definitely tooth and claw, apparently. Or claw and radium
Yeah. Just radiation.
sword thing.
Just radiation. Or
Mid-combat recap. 1 Talos survived with 2 wounds remaining after these Rust Stalkers, because they have no buffs, no extra attacks, nothing, no +1 strength. They killed 2 just straight up the bat. And then these put 4 wounds on, 5 wounds, sorry.
18 wounds and 8 mortal wounds.
It was nuts. It was actually crazy. So, but luckily 1 Talos survived, so he will be able to retaliate, which is good as well.
Probably kill something.
And all the witches died over here, but it is the end of the turn. I had 2 Reaver jet bikes survive.
Yeah. Now with 3 dead, do they need a morale?
They lost 2. They lost 2 models, yeah. Right, so they're good with Leadership 8. This Talos is good with Leadership 8. He did attack the Pederaxi to try and take them off this objective, but only killed 2. One with Macro Scalpel, because Brett rolled some 5-up invols. Good super veteran cohort invols. And then the mortal wounds kill another. But that's really nice. So at least I have 1 Talos alive. As well as my Triptych Whip Succubus, which I believe is going to try and come in and kill some Rust Stalkers. 100%. Other than that, I don't hold this, but I do hold this.
Yep.
I also hold this.
Yep.
And I also hold this.
You do?
Thanks to my Raider.
Oh,
his
the Raider
nose is in there.
Good call. Yep.
So I will get 10 primary points,
I think
which
that's the first primary points of the game.
oh, 100%. I will also get 3 points for my data intercept, because it's been an absolute crazy game so far. As we move into turn number 3, can you imagine? It's only turn 3.
And we
End of the movement phase. I did spend my 1 command point that I got this turn to fall back and charge with this
dude.
Talos, because I need to essentially charge in and attack before they get to attack me with anything. But this Grotesque, this Archon, this Homunculus, this Talos, the Super Triptych Whip Succubus, I'm putting everything I can to just annihilate this little area here. And then, of course, I've got my Ravager, I've got my Hellions. They're moving on to this objective to try and stop some scoring there. Although there's a lot of OBSEC here, so I have to try and kill these Rangers at the back and those Vanguards. There's only 6 of them left, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Other than that, let's dive in. I am doing data intercept with this Venom, and the Racks advanced fast enough to get in. While on this side over here, the Racks moved, and they are putting my Retrieve Octeris data in this corner. Good job. Okay, with that, shooting phase. End of the morale phase. So on this side, Pederaxi stayed alive. The Hellions only killing 3 with some good invulnerable saves being made. However, in shooting, the Hellions killed 3 from that unit that were hiding behind the obstacle with good rolls. They rolled excellently with their poison. The Ravager shot all 3 Dark Lances at the last one that was left to make sure he died. Meanwhile, this Raider, now unburdened by the arc rifles, was able to take down the 1 bomber, and the Grotesques charged in and were able to kill off the last of the Vanguard with some good Blade Artists rolls as well. On this side, the Succubus killed 5 with some good invulnerable saves, and then the Talos killed 4 with his rolls. The last Sergeant ran away to morale. So with that, I have successfully taken that objective, and the AdMech only have 1, which does mean we're back down to 0 primary, 1 data point.
It's a low-scoring game.
It is such a low-scoring game. However, I do get my 3rd Retrieve Octeris data as we move in to turn number 3 for the AdMech. We come back on turn 3. Pederaxi can fall back and charge, so they've moved back to get engaged on this side. The plane did some pivoting over here, bombed 3 of these racks into oblivion, and then moved that way. In the meantime, the Manipulus and the Marshal have moved in to try kill some of these Hellions and Grotesques, while these Rangers have stepped out from their comfort zone and are coming to shoot some stuff, potentially the rack or this Grotesque or something.
Yeah. Oh, and that would stop your action.
No.
Oh, yeah, you can complete a new one.
Yeah, the action would only stop if you killed the Venom.
Yeah, which I don't think of.
Okay, so over here, they tried to charge. They did not make it. Do you want to re-roll it?
I don't have anything else to use my CP for, so sure.
Okay, so they're going to try and make it onto the Venom. And, ooh, they make it with another 11. It seems like they'll be able to, they have to make it around this way because they can't fit through that door there. Okay, over there, I shot, lots of shooting, did some damage to the Hellions. There's 2 remaining now. This Grotesque has 2 wounds remaining with some shooting. And this Grotesque passed like 4 out of 5 feel no pains against those Rangers and survived with 3 wounds remaining. What a boss. Good job, little Grotesque over there. Okay, fair enough.
Manipulus in there.
Okay, he's going to charge into the Grotesques. Trying to come in and get some damage. There he goes.
9.
Nice rolls for these charges, that's for sure.
And then Marshall into there.
Yep.
Jeez, yeah.
He makes it in.
Bossing these up.
You just need to come into deep strike range. You can get all the charges you want with all the 9s you're rolling for charges. Awesome. Taser Go did 4 damage into that Venom. The other guy did the 2 that were left, killing the Venom, stopping my data intercept for the turn. Madness, I say.
Savagery.
Absolute madness. But the objective secure racks were able to get onto the objective to continue to hold it for me. Okay, so he was able to kill my data intercept. Did pull my banner down here, or the sticky objective. However, I will hold it at the start of my command phase because I have obsec, so I'm going to re-sticky it here. Over here, I did lose 4 of these Hellions, so they're going to need to morale test. They're good with leadership 8, thanks to the sergeant. And the Grotesques put 2 wounds on the Manipulus and survived the combat, while over here, the Hellion put 2 wounds on that Marshal and survived the combat as well. But with that, I do own 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives. That will be a 15-point Drukhari primary, which means that now we are definitely in the leading seat. But I get 0 for data intercept. That actually would have been a really nice 4-point data intercept, which would have been really good. But no, those Pederaxi had to kill my Venom, didn't they?
Charge built in.
So good. With the extra movement, too. They were just able to, like, move up real fast.
That was a gamble, though.
Yeah, it was. But it paid off. There you go. That was a good reroll for that, too. So.
Yeah.
Okay, end of the turn. In some charges, I was able to kill the Rangers. The Succubus jumped in and was able to kill the Marshal with a 6-inch advance. He just ran in and murdered him, then bounced back with a Trace Stealer. Over here, I was able to charge in and basically kill everybody here with the racks and the bikes. And then the Hellion charged in and killed the Marshal. And the racks charged in and killed the Manipulus, leaving the plane by himself to go around and shoot stuff. But with that, I believe it is going to be game, Brett.
I am content with that.
I am content with that as well. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody.
Yes.
Thanks, Brett, for coming down for the game. That was really, really fun. First time having Brett on the channel.
Yes.
So make sure
Hopefully first of many.
First of many. It was really, you know what?
Had a good time.
I need to play against more tough lists like the AdMech. I feel like if next time we play, we should just make you go first, and then we can like see what would have happened you going first. Because I don't think you had a lot of shooting, but your Vanguard would have gotten a position. I would have probably lost the Mandrakes faster. Those Mandrakes would have all died, and then they wouldn't have been able to do all the shenanigans they did over here. Let us know what you think about the game down below. But who is your MVP, Brett?
Sterilizers. No, I don't have an MVP model.
Yep.
I have an MVP weapon.
Ooh.
Taser goats.
They were so good.
Strength 6, AP1 is a good break point against Drukhari.
Yeah, +2 strength, especially on those sterilizers, which are base strength 4. They killed more stuff in my army than a lot of your things. My MVP, of course, are Talos. Talos are just ridiculously good. I only have 3 in this list because I'm running the Ravager, but I can tweak some stuff around to remove the Ravager and put the 3 more Talos into the Real Space Raid. However, I really liked the way that my list worked. This is the first time I've played it in the new version, and I think it'll do okay in the GT.
Yeah,
I think it'll play well. Other than that, Brett, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
That is a Drukhari victory. I didn't even keep points up. If people like points, look, we stopped scoring at like turn 3 when things started going south for the AdMech. But we'll return a huge shout out to all the channel Patreons. Thank you. Without you, this would not be possible. So check all the links down below if you like all the content and you'd like to help the channel grow. Other than that, I've been Skari. This has been Brett. Signing off. Yeah, signing off until
really gone.
that's okay. It is late. Signing off until next time. Skari and Brett out. The Dark Kin.